Hello, everyone. Welcome back to day 6 of the daily installment of the Diary of Bones. um, it's a pleasure talking to y'all once again. Um, I just want to say thank you, everyone that's been watching some of the videos. I know for one of my videos, I got a whopping 5 views. Much love, much appreciated. Thank you very much. And I got 2 likes too, which was actually surprising. Honestly, again, I know I say this pretty much every video at this point. I never really expected to get any sort of traction, but to see you guys engage with it and leave comments and and just watch the videos in general, that means a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much for that. um, I remember one person commented as well, saying about like the heat personally attacking them because it's just so hot recently, and I fully agree. It really feels like that. I mean, this past week itself like felt like it was taking forever, honestly. And not only that, like the heat's like just kind of like piercing down, like it's like invisible, kind of like just rods, like flying at you and slamming onto your skin, just like melting you alive. I mean, because as I mentioned before, I work outside. Like again, by the end of the day, I'm like drenched in sweat. I'm telling you, like my shirt, my full sleeve kind of like shirt that's kind of like thin, like in cloth. That's just fully absorbed, full of sweat. The undershirt that I wear underneath, also full of sweat. I'm talking like everything, just sweaty as hell. I got to like come back home and I have to just stand 20 minutes in the shower, just kind of like putting soap and everything, just clean myself all over the place because it's so bad, and by the time everything's all said and done, it's like I feel clean, I feel nice, I feel just more, I guess, light, and then I got to go to bed knowing that I got to wake up the next day and then go back out to just sweat buckets again. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, it's not too bad. And said person who also put that comment in, they were saying that my voice also almost put them to sleep too, and I'm like, you know what, I appreciate that. Thank you. Very surprising that one of my, I guess, daily diary videos or whatever just kind of came into your feed that early in the morning, but I'm glad that the voice be kind of soothing. It makes me feel warm inside. This is like, damn, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It really does mean a lot. So thank you for that. Um, well, so it's August 14th. It's around 6:28 p.m. here. Almost about to be 7 soon. Um, Honestly, nothing much today. I actually had work today, but I called off. I wasn't really feeling, too great, admittedly, in the morning. I really wasn't feeling that great, so I called off and I just spent the entire day resting. And literally, I took full advantage of air conditioning. That is the big perk of the day, or the big announcement of the day. I took full blown advantage of air conditioning, and it was a delight from start to finish. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a delight from start to finish. um, Other than that, literally just went back, started rewatching old movies and everything. Well, not like super old movies, but like old movies that I kind of enjoy. Like Spider-Man 1 and 2, binge that. Spider-Man 3, binge that as well. Today was all Tobey Maguire. Tomorrow is gonna be all Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland is for the weekend. That being said, actually, it's quite exciting because they're filming the fourth Tom Holland movie. I remember like seeing the set photos, like that was in what, like Glasgow, right? Glasgow. I hope I'm saying it correctly. If not, my apologies on that. But the set photos looked amazing, and actually, fun fact, I have a buddy of mine, right, and he loves to travel. He loves to go everywhere in the world and everything, and he actually went to the UK, and he it was funny because he heard the rumors of it being like filmed and shot in Glasgow, right? So he went for the sole purpose of going to the set, but he basically, because like he didn't want to tell his folks like, oh yeah, I'm going to European trip to go see a Spider-Man set. I'm gonna go. He lied saying like I'm gonna go see family there, because he does actually have family there in the UK area, and it's like I think another like half an hour to an hour car ride to said area where they were shooting the film or scenes for the film. So he's like, I'm gonna go there. I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna see this thing, everything. And he did it. He convinced everyone. He went to go. He paid for his ticket, went and stayed with some family there. And certain days he went down to Glasgow, just driving around and seeing the thing. And it was funny because he texted me one night. He's like, "Hey, buddy, guess where I'm at?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm in Glasgow." And I'm like, why are you there?" And he's like, "Spider-Man." And he just sends me like a bunch of pictures of like him being on set, like like the city tour bus, like the like a close-up shot of like the tank and everything. More pictures of like Tom Holland in the Spider-Man suit, with like the harness and everything, like on top of the tank, and all that stuff. And like he sent me another picture of like like the set, New York, police department kind of like police cars, like the set cars, like kind of like flipped over with like frames and everything. So like he was sending me like all those pictures and like really cool shots and everything. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's actually awesome, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I bet you're jealous, aren't you?" And I told him, I was like, this is amazing. This year alone, I got to meet a celebrity. You got to meet a celebrity. And he's like, "You met a celebrity? What celebrity did you meet?" And this is a little bit of background context for a little bit of background info. Not earlier this year, but a little like around July or so, I actually went to a SuperCon convention. And there I got to meet a lot of lovely people. Got to meet a lot of lovely actors, a lot of lovely voice actors, voice actresses, a lot of great cosplayers. A lot of respect to their work. And I got to meet the lovely Danielle Bisutti for Freya, God of War, God of War 2016, and God of War Ragnarok. I got to meet the main man himself, Christopher Judge, for God of War and God of War Ragnarok. And I also got to meet some of the lovely Dragon Ball voice actors, with my personal favorite. I'm sorry if you guys don't agree, but Vegeta, number one main man himself. He's fantastic. I got to meet the legendary Christopher Sabat. I got to meet him, the voice actor of Vegeta, All Might, Zoro, all these great, characters. I got to meet him, and I actually got a signed poster from him. And it was fantastic because it was like a Vegeta, custom artwork poster where if you read the manga and everything, he has like a new transformation. I don't want to spoil too much if you guys may not be interested in Dragon Ball or you may not want spoilers, but there's a new transformation that they kind of release in like the manga and everything. And I got a signed poster, and it was like a custom code and everything, and he put his whole signature in. It was fantastic. I have it in my room. I have it framed and everything. I mean, of course you would, because it's there, man made my childhood. Of course I'm going to frame it. So I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I got to meet Christopher Sabat." And like, we were on call, and he got so pissed off. He was like, "Well, fuck you." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "You got to meet Christopher goddamn Sabat." And I'm like, "And you got to meet Spider-Man." And he's like, "Yeah, but since when can Spider-Man shoot lasers out of his freaking hands, huh? Huh? Did you ever think about that, idiot?" And I'm like, "What? Why you complaining, man? I got to meet Christopher Sabat. You got to see Tom Holland Spider-Man like right in front of you, man. Like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "It ain't the same. It ain't the same, man. It's not. I would dab up Christopher Sabat any day, man. This is crazy." So explain to me how I have to now calm this man, right? Who's insanely jealous of me meeting a voice actor. I mean, to be fair, it's the Christopher Sabat, of course, right? But I got to calm him down when I myself am a little, like surprised, like he got to meet Tom Holland, like literally right there. He was like 30 feet away from Tom Holland, like in person. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. But I thought it was hysterical, honestly. Just having that that conversation. It was the funniest thing to me. But it's just a delight, but it's fun, and I hope that new movie, especially for the Tom Holland, fourth Spider-Man film, I hope it turns out wonderful. Me, I'm gonna be like, first night, there, premiere night, I'm gonna be there, ticket in hand, like, bucket of popcorn, drink and everything. I'm gonna be there. I'll be there without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? But it's just fun. It's just fun, and it's nice. It's nice, and especially today, just relaxing and reflecting about it, it was beautiful, and it was nice thing, or well, watching movies from my childhood and everything, and realizing even now, that while we're grown up, we're still kids, deep in heart. You always hear about people complain like, oh, how can you still like that thing? That's like the most childish thing you can like. Well, too bad. I like it. It's my thing. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. I'm going to like it either way. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how old you are. There's always going to be something in your heart that you will admire ever since you were a kid. You know what I mean? I love cartoons. I love manga. I love anime. I love comic books. I love video games. I'm 24 and I still love them. And I love them especially because it doesn't matter how old you get, they're still for everyone. Adults, way older than me, young kids who just want to see something else, read something fantastic and everything. And it's wonderful. So I guess one lesson for today is it doesn't matter how old you get, never forget the things that you enjoy. I mean, it's good to of course be responsible, act accordingly as well. You can't be playing video games for like 10 hours straight when you're like 48 or something, because you still have your children, you still have your responsibilities, you got your job, you got your wife, your husbands or whatever, whoever you're married with, whoever you're living with, whoever you're associating with, you still have your outward responsibilities, but never forget the things that you enjoy, and definitely by all means still treasure them in your heart. And I think that's another aspect to it that's wonderful as well, to just love what you love and keep having it close to you, because it gives you comfort and it gives you a chance to relax. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, as I was saying in my last video, you guys may not hear from me for like a week or so when GTA 6 comes out. I've been playing those games since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Just be ready for that, for that little hiatus. But it's fun. It's fun. And I'm sorry if the story was a little abrupt, but I got a lot of stories for you guys. Just let me get a little bit more comfortable with this kind of whole thing, because again, it's still very new to me. It's only been day 6. It's still very new to me, so when I get a little bit more comfortable, I'll share more stories and more, fun tales and everything with you guys. And all I just want to say is that thank you guys for being here, and I love you guys very much. I love you all. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay,